On the morning of May 8, 2025, the Columbus Police Department in Ohio received a frantic 911 call. "We just heard gunshots. They're leaving now, dark gray Ford, rims over 40 inches, blacked out windows. They just shot at my neighbor's house. We need an ambulance now." The caller didn't say much more, their voice trembling, choking between chaotic background noises. A man in a construction jacket, black shirt, and black pants, he was the suspect. Police officers launched into action immediately, alarms blaring across districts. Within minutes, the entire neighborhood was thrust into a state of red alert. As police neared the scene, they spotted the suspect's truck. But before they could block it, the vehicle surged toward them like a beast unleashed. The officer locked eyes with something almost surreal. A chase was about to begin. The Ford roared, swerving wildly between lanes, leaving behind smoke and panic. Residents barely had time to duck and rush their children inside. Sirens screamed as officers gave chase through tight corners and crowded streets. No one knew what this gunman might do next, and everyone understood. One wrong move could cost another life.
It's looping around. 9052's number one.
As two patrol cars closed in from both sides, it seemed the suspect had run out of road. One cruiser swerved hard, slamming into the side of the dark gray Ford, aiming to end the chase under control. Shards flew. Metal screeched against asphalt. For a moment, everyone thought it was over, but then a sudden roar. The suspect slammed the gas, engine howling in defiance. The Ford broke free from the crushing grip, skidding loose and bolting ahead like a wounded animal. He wouldn't surrender, wouldn't stop. He chose to flee to the bitter end, dragging danger behind him for anyone caught in his reckless path. And the police, left with no other option, knew they had to end this chase, whatever it took. At a major intersection, where traffic lights flickered over slick, oil-smeared pavement, the suspect once again slipped past the police blockade, accelerating desperately through the crowded street. For a split second, it looked like he might break free, but from the side, a patrol car surged forward, clipping the front of the Ford with brutal force. The sound of metal crashing echoed like thunder. The suspect's vehicle spun, flipped, and crashed in the middle of the intersection, its wheels suspended and spinning helplessly in the air. Smoke hissed from under the hood. The door flung open. But before the suspect could even step out, officers surrounded the wreck, guns drawn, moving like shadows circling prey. No sirens, no shouting. Only one command, sharp and final: get on the ground, don't move. And this time, there was nowhere left to run.
I pulled it out. Hey.
Give me my feet. Give me my feet. The bitch was prepared us from. Little Hey, little bitch. Hey, what's your name? Hey. Little bitch. What's your name? What's your name?
Put him down. Put him down. Put him on the.
And so, can you get with Zone 1, see if they can send a sergeant to the 43 seat?
Control 4 units, be advised, we have reports of a break-in in progress. Suspects may be still in the premises, backup requested, over, go ahead.
On the night of February 11, 2023, the calm of Los Angeles County was shattered when a stolen vehicle tore through crowded streets. Police were immediately dispatched after identifying the suspect vehicle fleeing at an alarming speed. Inside were multiple individuals, ready to cross every line in a desperate attempt to escape.
Control. I have visual on the suspect vehicle. It's traveling at high speed, weaving in and out of traffic.
As the suspects swerved sharply onto a narrow residential street, two wheels lifted off the pavement, nearly flipping the vehicle. Streetlights smeared across the windshield as the car rocketed forward like a bullet. A young girl was crossing the street, walking her dog. The tires screamed, sparks flew from the asphalt. She was just steps away from death. The car skidded across the curb, clipped a mailbox, then surged ahead without slowing down. Overhead, a police helicopter locked on, its spotlight blasting down, illuminating the fleeing car like a marked target.
Control negotiator on scene, requesting direct contact with Unit 1, over.
The car darted like a wild animal, blowing through red lights, speeding the wrong way on highways, weaving inches away from passing vehicles. At times, the speedometer surged past 130 mph. Every sharp turn was a dare to death. Bystanders screamed, diving out of the way. Sirens roared across the city as police gave close chase, refusing to back down. The heart-pounding pursuit dragged on for dozens of minutes with no clear end in sight. But the bigger question remains: can police bring it to a close without firing a single shot? And what drove the suspects behind the wheel to risk it all? Suddenly, through the piercing sirens and strobing lights, the stolen vehicle swerved into a parking lot and slammed to a stop. Smoke poured from the tires in thick clouds. Before officers could fully close in, the car door burst open. One suspect jumped out and sprinted toward the residential blocks behind. The other two remained inside, barricaded and unmoving. "Hands up, don't move," the officers shouted. One cop, gun drawn, crept along the rear of the car while others fanned out to form a perimeter. The entire neighborhood seemed to hold its breath. Red and blue lights flashed across windows and walls, like a waking nightmare descending on the street.
Out of the vehicle, now running forward. There comes another passenger out of the back seat. These kids are struggling, and look at this. He's getting back in the vehicle. Another one back in the vehicle, and finally,
A quiet Wednesday
CHP
afternoon in Santa Clarita was suddenly torn apart by the roar of engines and the wail of sirens. A stolen vehicle sped through residential streets, chased by multiple police cruisers. Inside were three suspects, desperately trying to escape. Residents could only grab their children, lock their doors, and watch as their peaceful neighborhood turned into a high-stakes action scene. No one knew exactly what was happening, only that danger had arrived at their doorstep. As the patrol car approached, suddenly the side door opened. The two suspects shot out like lightning straight into the nearby residential area. Less than 2 seconds later, the other door also opened. The police shouted loudly, "Stop. Police, stand still." But no one stopped. The chase began, no longer a closed-room interrogation, but a race between truth and darkness. Two people, two directions. A crowded residential area where any door could be a hiding place or a new threat. Through their windows, Santa Clarita residents watched with relief as the three suspects were handcuffed and taken away. There was no crowd, no Hollywood-style shootout. The chase ended not with a bang, but with the quiet triumph of tactical discipline. This wasn't just a successful arrest, it was proof that law enforcement can be powerful without being violent. Sometimes, it's the silent professionalism that makes people feel safer than any show of force. The driver, clearly skilled behind the wheel, weaved through traffic and obstacles as if competing in a deadly race. But that finesse was no match for panic and greed. One wrong turn, one burst of reckless speed, and they were trapped in a dead end. No gunshots, no violent confrontation. Officers calmly closed in, executing a smooth, professional arrest. No injuries, no chaos, just police doing their job efficiently and with precision.